Inconsistently consistent.
Hello and welcome to Inconsistently Consistent, the podcast that talks about everything and hang on.
Everything and anything.
Everything and anything. And we say, what in the Charles Darwin is going on? My name is Rachel.
And my name is Melanie.
It's been so long since I spoke to you.
I know. Who are you? Who am I? I can't tell.
I don't know. Who is that girl I hear?
What in the Charles Darwin did you just say?
So I have a quick funny story before we get into what we're going to get into, because you're going to be like, really? You of all people did this?
What, you shut yourself in and never came out and became a hermit for the rest of your life?
No.
Well, then I probably will believe it then.
Okay, so I decided to go into the office. Today is Tuesday, April 4th, because it's a short week. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to go on Thursday because Thursday's technically Friday because we're closed on Friday. And I was like, I'm not going to go in Thursday. I'm going to go in today.
Okay.
So get to the office. Everything's fine and dandy. Decide I'm going to get breakfast at work. Reach into my purse to grab my change purse because I have cash on me. I know what is cash. Nobody carries cash on them anymore, but I do. And reaching my hand around and realize I don't feel my wallet.
Oh.
So I left my wallet at home and I drove to work without my license in my purse.
Well, now. Rachel.
I know.
We do not admit to crimes on the podcast.
It's a lapse in the memory, and it's not like anything's gonna happen. It's fine.
Yes, and for this episode, your name is Harmony Who, Hibbity Who.
Yeah.
Okay, that's your legal name.
Uh-huh.
And by license, you meant your Liberty Mutual Fund card. Right?
Sure. One of my coworkers did the same thing a few weeks ago, and she's like, "You're me today." I was like, "Yeah."
Yes. And technically, you might ask, is this solicitor-client privileged information since you are talking to your lawyer? Well, no, because you're posting it on the internet. Mm-hmm. See how that breaks that?
But I don't mind admitting I forgot my wallet. It happens.
Yeah, your wallet, yes. The thing you're supposed to be carrying while operating a motor vehicle, no. Yeah, and then what you're doing is recording it and posting the confession on the internet for the police to hear and then play in court.
Yes, because the police listen to our podcast.
I'm just saying, I'm telling you. And they can play this part back too. And be like, look at that smart ass lawyer. She was awesome.
She was great.
Yeah. I'm going to be like, Your Honor, Exhibit A. Melanie was smart AF, right?
Right.
Our Lord and Savior Charles Darwin would say so.
Yes, he would.
Mm-hmm.
But he wouldn't say it in those words. He'd be like, yeah, she is quite intelligent.
Quite intelligent.
Quite intelligent.
Quite. That's natural selection at work.
Oh-ho. So, what are we doing today?
Survival of the fittest. Fight to the death. Let's go.
Are we fighting each other?
I don't know.
Okay.
I just, it's like Charles Darwin themed.
Okay. Yep, okay. I'll text you after.
You failed the test.
I'll text you after. About some things that may or may not have, people who may or may not have been fought.
We're doing Reddit revenge stories. Unhinged Reddit part whatever number we're at. Who knows? Yeah, the exact number. To the nth degree. Unhinged Reddit stories to the nth degree. That's what we're doing.
Exactly.
One of these days I'll come up with a good title for this.
Yes.
Stick around.
TBD. Yeah, so we have some leftover petty revenge stories from our other petty revenge episode.
Don't tell them it's leftovers.
Well, they are, because we couldn't fit all of them in one episode.
They're not. They could be amazing. We didn't call them leftovers, like they're second choice. Like there's some, like you propose second, like you propose to one girl and then realize, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to, because you're like a shit show, and then I'm going to propose to a second one. Like, ew, don't do that.
Melody's upset about Love is Blind, FYI.
What are you talking about?
I mean, I'm upset about it too, but
I don't know why you would bring that up. We weren't talking anything about that. You just brought that up out of nowhere.
Your tone of voice indicates.
I don't think you would bring that up. Like, that's a weird thing to bring up, Rachel. Out of nowhere, we're talking about Reddit revenge stories.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not gaslighting you.
Mm-hmm. Sure. I'm not gaslighting you.
I don't think you actually are.
That's not what I said.
Okay, then.
All right.
Fair play.
Now that we've got the gaslighting out of the way.
There's always a little bit of that in the beginning.
Yeah, we got some stories. We're going to read them. We're going to react. And yes.
And yes.
And yes.
It's like cheerleaders. And 1 and 2 and yes.
And yes.
And Rachel, are you going to read first?
I am reading first. So, this one is called You Don't Like Your Boyfriend Seeing Me Braless in the Dorm? Then he won't.
Oh no. Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I live in a college dorm on an all-female floor. I usually wear a bra if leaving the dorm building, but I'm not going to put a bra under my shirt just to walk down the hall to the bathroom. Makes sense. A few days ago, I left my room and walked 10 yards down the hall to the water fountain, refilled my water bottle, and walked back to my room. I was wearing a white tank top and no bra. The tank top was fitted but not see-through, so you could only see the outline of my nips. She was pulling a Rachel from Friends.
Oh, yeah.
There was a small group of people hanging out in the hall outside a few of the rooms, but I didn't think much of it until around half an hour later when I got a knock on the door from one of the girls I'd seen in the hall. She said something to the effect of, "Hey, so sorry to ask you this, but if you go into the hall again, could you put a bra on? My boyfriend's out there and he was staring a little, so..."
It doesn't seem like her problem.
No, it's not. It's the boyfriend's problem because he can't keep his eyes up.
Yeah. It doesn't seem like Coaster's problem.
No, it's not. I'm super non-confrontational, so I was like, yeah, sure, sorry about that. And for the rest of the night, anytime I left my room, I put a bra or sweater on. And that was the end of it. Or so I thought. The next day, my roommate told me she'd overheard the girl telling a few of her friends about the incident while in the bathroom. She said the girl was making it sound like hang on, let me restart that because my brain shut off halfway through. She said the girl was making it sound like I'd been purposely trying to seduce her boyfriend, wearing basically nothing, taking my time at the water fountain, posing to push out my tits, the whole works.
Like describing a porn.
Mm-hmm. When she left the bathroom, my roommate said the girl was actually acting it out at the water fountain, pretending to be me.
Oh no, it is like acting out a porn.
It is. Oh, I need to get some of this water. Oh,
Oh
I hope nobody
no.
sees me.
Oh no, I spilled it on my shirt. Now it's see-through. Oh
Oh, wet
no.
t-shirt contest. Oh no.
Oh no.
That night I passed the girl and some of her friends on my way to brush my teeth. I wasn't wearing a bra, I was already in pajamas. The girls stared pointedly down at my chest and all of them started giggling. But the last straw was when the entire dorm got an email from the RA yesterday saying she'd gotten some anonymous complaints about people dressing inappropriately in the hallways and asking that we all just make sure we're keeping things covered up. That's
What are you gonna say?
I was gonna say, imagine being that much of a Karen to be like, I don't like the fact that my boyfriend's looking at another girl, so I'm gonna complain to get the RA to send out an email.
Like maybe just have a conversation with your fucking boyfriend.
Or maybe just break up with him.
Yeah. Like if it bothers you so much that your boyfriend is like just ogling other women, all Jesus, I can't fucking talk.
Did your brain shut up too?
No, it's just like my mouth isn't working with this fucking migraine.
Okay.
But at least my head doesn't hurt anymore.
That's good.
Like either talk to your boyfriend and be like, what you're doing makes me uncomfortable. I don't like it. And have him not do it anymore. And if he doesn't stop doing it, then break up with him. Or you're just gonna, like, if you can't have a fucking conversation with him, you're just gonna have to be like, this is my life now.
Yep.
You can't make everybody else cover themselves for the rest of your life. Right? Like, Jesus fucking Christ. It's not like she was walking around naked. Like, oh my God. And she'd just like go into the RA and be like, oh my God, there was this girl and she was completely naked in the hallway.
She was doing a portrait in the hallway.
Like, I just wish she would stop like fucking herself with a dildo in the hallway. It's so inappropriate. My boyfriend can't stop looking.
He can't stop watching her get on the fountain and have it spray her.
Yeah. Jesus.
So here's where I got my petty little revenge.
I hope it's
I
big.
knew that this girl's boyfriend doesn't go to college here. The girl and I were in the same orientation group and chatted a bit back then. I also knew that due to the pandemic, we aren't allowed to have non-student / family guests in the dorms this year. So I used the same anonymous complaint form to issue a complaint about people bringing their off-campus boyfriends into our dorm and them not wearing a mask. Masks are mandatory in the hallways, although not frequently enforced.
Oh.
This morning, the RA emailed again saying that due to anonymous complaints, they'd be enforcing the no off-campus guests rule by checking IDs of unfamiliar guests to make sure they were students from then on. Really, this girl should be thanking me. If she was concerned about her boyfriend seeing the vague outline of my tits in the dorm hallways, she no longer needs to worry.
Very nice.
And one of the top comment, which is beautiful, says, I'm also pretty petty. I have to tell you that before I got to the end, I was thinking if it were me, I would walk down the hall in my bra but with no shirt. I mean, hey, it's wearing a bra, which is technically what she asked for.
That would have been hilarious.
Yeah, I would have been like, you asked me to put on a bra, I have a bra on. I don't see the problem.
Honestly, I probably would have put it on over my shirt.
I was thinking that. I'd put it over my shirt as well.
Yeah. Or like just like hang it around your neck or like over your head and be like, is this what you wanted?
Yeah.
Is this what you wanted?
Be like, I'm wearing a bra.
I'm wearing it.
You didn't specify how I had to wear the bra, but I am wearing one.
Is this appropriate now? Are you not entertained?
Are you not entertained?
Oh no, I'm just looking. Someone wrote, or go mean girl style. Wear a bra and cut holes in your shirt.
Yes. That's beautiful.
Can't spell pretty without petty.
Facts.
Mm.
That's some hard facts.
Someone did write, I was imagining a bra worn over the tank top. Yeah. That was one of the comments.
Yes.
Oh, another one said it too.
I'm glad everybody had the same idea. That's great.
Someone said, yeah, I was nervous that this was going to end with her cutting his eyes out. I don't think that's petty revenge. I think that's like pretty much ended up on death row.
That's called mutilation.
Yeah, that's r/mutilation. We're not on that subreddit.
We're not on that subreddit.
r/petty revenge.
Hang on. Is there a? I need to Google this.
No,
I do. I'm sorry.
You don't want to know what comes up.
I need to know if there is.
I haven't been there, I swear. It sounded like I was joking and that I probably have been there, but I swear I haven't been there. I've been down some dark places.
Okay, so there doesn't seem to be a Reddit page for it because I get, did you mean r/motivation, ear/mutilation, war/mutilation, pro/mutilation?
I love how Google tried to help you though. It's like r/motivation. We think you need some right now.
And the top article is female genital mutilation. So we're not going to go there.
No.
Yeah. It's your turn.
Oh no, I just got stuck reading comments. Sorry.
Get out of the comments. Come back to me. Hexa agrees.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just like I'm stuck.
No, get out of the comments. Come back to me.
Okay, yeah, I'm exiting. Okay. Whew, that was difficult. I got stuck. I was a little bit of a hyperfixation there for a second.
ADHD at its finest.
Yeah, that was a little. Okay, which one is speaking to me? I kind of like this. This one. She expected an inheritance from my late husband. Right? Like, that sounds sassy.
It does.
I'm feeling sassy.
So what are you doing?
Oh, it's long. I don't want to read long.
Well, too bad you picked it.
Yeah, I'm already there. It's fine.
Yep.
I made my bed. I'll lie in it. Hold on. Pop up. Get the fuck out. Google, I do not want to change things. Okay. Oh, this one's new. 17 days ago.
Oh!
I don't think it's going to be as exciting as I hoped. I saw the word nail gun and I was like, oh my god, please.
Hey, yo.
Have
r/mutilation?
Yeah, that's what I was like, right? But I don't think it is.
Okay.
Maybe. I try not to get my hopes up about it. Okay. So again, title is She Expected an Inheritance from My Late Husband. So, my husband passed away 2 years ago. He was a remodeler who had a broad list of clients. For a time, to help out the adult daughter, let's call her Kiki, of my good friend of 42 years, Amy. he would hire her as a helper on some of his large remodeling projects. During that time, Kay would is that supposed to be I? No, it says during that time, Kay would occasionally borrow things for her own projects. So I guess maybe
they probably mean Kiki.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kay would occasionally borrow things for her own projects: a portable CD player, a pair of channel locks, a winch, and come along, a table saw, chainsaw, a Graco cart paint sprayer, and an air compressor and nail gun. No mutilation. They were all borrowed clean, in working order, in good condition, with all relevant parts included. Every single one of them was returned with great delays, all broken and missing significant parts, and a crap ton of excuses.
Mm.
The excuses weren't missing, apparently. Over 2 years, Kiki managed to cost him nearly $5,000 in losses.
Ooh.
Finally, he also quit hiring her as a helper because he caught her stealing from one of his clients.
Mm.
And forced her to put the item she took right back, and then kicked her off the job immediately.
Good.
Yeah.
Kiki get wrecked.
Yeah. Kiki is wrecking the shit out of everybody, though.
Mm-hmm.
Last September, I was visiting Amy and Kiki. Okay, last September, I was visiting Amy, and Kiki was there. And then Kiki hit me up for what she called her promised inheritance, which was the first time I ever heard about it, given that my hubby and I spent the 8 years of his terminal illness talking about what he wanted after his death, given that he gifted things of his that he wanted friends to have before he died.
Mm-hmm.
I knew damn well he didn't intend for Kiki to have anything. My husband left no will. Amy knew that my hubby had quit lending her tools after getting the cart paint sprayer back. It was a $1,200 purchase and was less than 4 months old when it was borrowed and returned broken in ways the warranty would not cover. Amy also knew Kiki's attempted theft and caused him to refuse to have her work on anything with him for any reason. Amy was also a victim of her daughter stealing from her as well.
Mm.
Yeah. Now, our state is a community property state. When a spouse dies without a will, only the surviving spouse inherits. So Amy told her daughter to back off, and I got the bright idea of how I was going to handle getting rid of all that broken stuff, which was still taking up room in the tool shed. So I told her I'd be sure to pick something out for her, even though her own behavior was the root cause of the bad blood between herself and my husband. Oh, okay. So the next day, with Amy's help, I dropped off all the broken tools and the busted up CD player Kiki borrowed from my hubby at her apartment. Kiki wanted to know what I expected her to do with all of it. I told her that I expected her to do with them whatever it was she had expected my hubby to do with them after she returned them in the condition they were in. Now she's the proud owner of a bunch of useless tools, and I got to reclaim nearly 35 square feet of space in what is now my tool shed. The end.
That's great.
Yeah. That's like a... What's the word? Not heartwarming. I'm missing some words. I'm having aphasia, which means that words are missing. But I don't forget the word aphasia, which is the process of having words being forgotten. Which is, I'm part of my migraine aura.
Heartwarming.
It's like a feel-good one, you
know?
Yeah.
Makes you all warm and fuzzy.
I didn't want PG. I wanted R-rated. I wanted, her to take the nail gun and, shoot some people.
Okay, listen.
I mean, it wasn't warranted with what it was, but like that's what I wanted the story. I wanted a story like that. And this is the story I picked.
Well, that sounds like a you problem because you committed it too.
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Let's move on to another one that maybe will be a little bit better. So, this one is titled, I Will Read Yours If You Read Mine.
Okay.
And I just have to tell you the person's username for this story. It's OK Beelzebub666.
Beelzebub.
It's not spelled Beelzebub. It's spelled
What?
like Beel, Z-E. It doesn't look like how Beelzebub should be spelled, but maybe I have never seen Beelzebub spelled this way.
Mine's not loaded yet.
Okay.
My internet's being really slow.
That's
Oh,
okay.
no, yeah, that's not spelled right.
Yeah.
That's Beel Z boob. Boob.
Boob. Are they the author of the tit one? No, they're
Bub.
not. Yeah, it's it looks like Beelzebub, and that's why I didn't think it was It's supposed to be Beelzebub.
Oh, you know what? I think that's spelled right.
Oh,
That's spelled right. Holy fuck.
that looks so wrong.
It does.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? It can also be spelled Belzebub.
Okay, see, that's how I've seen it spelled, not
Yeah.
with the double E. Look, we teach you things on this podcast.
Yeah, we now have taught you that Beelzebub can be spelled in two different ways, and both ways are correct. One of those ways is more correct.
Mm-hmm. We'll let you figure out which one it is.
No, you're not gonna get to learn that. It's one E.
I was gonna say
double
hint.
E is problematic.
I was gonna say, before you so rudely interrupted me, I was gonna say hint, it's spelled with one E.
Well, it was not hinted enough, okay? We've got to be direct with people. I am not letting anyone go through life thinking the double E in Beelzebub is like, okay, it's not.
Okay.
It's not, Rachel.
Okay.
Like, because I look at that and I'm like, what in the Charles Darwin is going on there?
Speaking of Charles Darwin, I am a bit of a petty bastard if I get pissed off.
Are
I
you
was
reading
raised...
this, or is that just, like something you're telling me about?
No, I'm reading it.
Oh, that's what the poster said.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
I was raised Catholic, but count myself as agnostic. Did you write this?
Well, it sounds like it, but I would never spell Beelzebub that way.
Okay. This goes back about 20 years ago. Okay, no, you didn't write this because you were not conscious enough 20 years ago to understand the Catholic. Anyways,
I was 9.
You were almost 10.
I'm not 30 yet.
You're closer to 30 than you are 29.
I am 29.
Yeah, but you're closer.
So that's not accurate.
I never said that.
Yes, you did.
No, I don't know what. No, I never said that.
Yes, you did.
No.
Yes, you did.
I never said that.
Yes, you did.
No. Anyways,
Yeah.
This goes back about 20 years ago. We were getting almost weekly visits by the local Jehovah's Witnesses to our door. Being a small community, I was not rude, nor did I yell, but I respectfully kept asking them to stop, but it did not work. Now, I went to a city about an hour away and was walking downtown. While on my stroll, I passed a local mosque. This mosque had a small, unassuming table out from with a small stack of Qurans to give out. Well, I had an idea and helped myself to one to take home. Well, a couple of weeks later, the local Johos show up at the door.
I don't like Johos.
Yeah, he called them Johos.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Well, that's how the poster calls them.
That sounds like hobos.
Well, never mind. This time I greeted them enthusiastically and let them do their spiel. Towards the end, they asked me to read their watchtower brochures. I said, of course, on one condition. Looking puzzled, they asked me about that condition. I smiled and said one moment and stepped into my bookshelf and came back. At this point, I said, I will read their material if they read my book, and handed them the Quran. The two Johos looked confused while holding the book, and after a pregnant pause of what seemed minutes but was likely 5 seconds, their eyes bugged out at what they were holding, and I thought they were going to call 911 for the stroke they were about to have. The two Johos practically threw the Quran and hustled back to their car, presumably to get some sort of exorcism to cleanse their now defiled hands and eyes. To this day, I have not had another Joho visit my home. Mission accomplished.
I don't know what to think about that one.
And there's a comment that I want to read you.
I don't like the Johos part, but I do like the whole, if you're not willing to accept other people's thoughts and belief systems and just like open your mind to discourse, then what are you gonna do? And I like their response was just like, we can't look at this, and just ran.
Okay, so this is one of the comments, which I think is funny. My neighbor tells a story about once when he was in his 60s, two young Jehovah's Witnesses, I'm not going to say Johos because they have Joho written too, but I'll just say Jehovah's Witness, came knocking on the door. They gave their spiel and he said, "Oh, yes, come in. I haven't had sex since my wife died."
Oh, gosh.
He said they flew out of his doorway so fast that he couldn't believe it. His wife was sitting in the next room laughing her butt off. He said they never came back and it's been 15 years.
Oh, God. Oh, my God. I just used to hide. Right? When people would come to the door, like, soliciting anything, I would hide. Right? I'd just, like, pretend I wasn't home. But some people, they would get very, like, persistent. Right? Like, they wouldn't just knock and wait and then leave and be like, okay, they're not home or they're not coming to the door. They would, like, knock and wait and knock and wait and knock, ring the doorbell, knock and wait. And then you'd think they were gone, but they'd, like, start to walk away. But if then they saw movement in your house, because you were, like, peeking out and being like, okay, are they gone? Then they'd come back and be like, oh, yeah, there's someone there. And it's like, shit, they saw me. Right? Or, like, I've had someone, like, come around the back of my house and, like, come into the back fence and stuff.
Oh.
Yeah, before I had a dog, like a giant ass German Shepherd. And just, like, come around the back and been like, yeah, I'm just gonna, like, talk to you. And I'm like, no. I don't like talking to other people. I'm an introvert and very antisocial. And I've been hiding from you for, like, 30 minutes. Please leave. But yeah, I've done weird shit like that with telemarketers where you just tell them weird stuff.
I've seen videos of that where people say weird things to telemarketers. I know we had Jehovah's Witness show up one day, and it was Christmas Eve. And we had literally just gotten home from church.
Mm-hmm.
And they walk up, knock on the door, and my dad answers it. And they're like, oh, can we tell you about the story of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ? And my dad was like, actually, we just got home from our own church, so I think we're good.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, oh, okay, have a Merry Christmas. And dad was like, you too. And then we had our snacks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I get the solicitation and stuff and just going about your thing. I don't get the overly persistent stuff though.
Yeah.
Right? Like take no for an answer. Move on. And
Nice.
yeah, Hexa, right? Like it was if and the same thing, Hexa, when like Rachel goes to pet you and you say, no, I don't really want to right now. I'm sleeping. And then she goes, okay, Hexa, whatever you want, right? Just like that.
Okay. Your turn.
Okay. I'm not sure which one. Let's go for the washcloths.
Okay.
Let's go. Roommate stole my washcloth.
Okay.
Let's go for some roommate hijinks.
Let's go for some roommate hijinks.
Okay. This one, oh my god, it's 19 days ago. These are all really fresh.
I know. Lexie was on her game, man.
Yeah, lead researcher Lexie. So, roommate stole my washcloths. So, I decided to let her steal one more. Purple devil emoji.
Ooh.
Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun.
I feel like this one's got more of my vibe.
I think it does.
I have a good feeling. There's going to be a nail gun.
We're going to go to r/mutilation.
We're going to create it. Okay, my freshman year, I had the most inconsiderate roommate who'd stay up all night talking loudly, eat my food, etc. Oddly, my washcloths that I used to wash my face would go missing. Like, I think I lost like 3 or 4 throughout the semester. I thought someone was taking them, but I had no idea where to. Well, at the end of the semester, we were clearing out the bathroom cabinets to move out, and what did I find shoved in the far back corners of the cabinet? My washcloths, which were covered in orange foundation.
Oh, no.
Clearly evidence from my one rude roommate because she wore so much foundation every single day. I was super annoyed because I had to keep buying more washcloths to replace the ones she stole. Well, I decided to use one of my other washcloths and clean the disgusting bathtub with it. I'm talking ring of shampoo, dirt, hair everywhere, etc. I was planning to just throw it away afterwards, but I decided to hang it up and let it dry in the same place I would hang up my washcloths for my face.
Oh, this is going to be good.
The next day, the washcloth I had used for the bathtub was covered in orange foundation.
Yes!
The look on her face when I told her, ... no regrets.
Yes!
Oh my god. The comments, did you use my ass cloth? Oh my god. Another comment, no, but for real, I have 2 washcloths that are rotated every 2 days, and one of those is for my butthole.
You should have been like, oh, that's my cum cloth.
Oh no. Ew, Rachel. Oh no.
Yes.
So, let's read some of these comments because they're crazy.
Okay.
So, One of these comments is pretty long here, but it has another story in it.
Okay.
So, this one says, I was roomies with one of my good friends in the military for a very long time. He was very particular about his body and took very good care of it, even taught me some honestly low maintenance things that improved my quality of life. Anyway, when I inevitably left, they moved someone else in right behind me that was apparently just not it, as my friend put it. We were immediately at odds, and the new guy even had some pretty heavy bad paperwork on his name before he even moved into the room with my friend. Well, Monday came around and the dude had to be in court for some reason. Oh god. Or another, and had to leave later than my buddy did for work. My buddy comes back to the room to grab food at lunchtime and notices that the sink has a ton of hair cluttered around it, and his razor is all used up. The razor that usually was in the shower, the one that wasn't used for faces, if you catch my drift. Dirtbag used my buddy's crotch razor to shave his face before he was dishonorably discouraged, is how they put it, but it's discharged. But I love dishonorably discouraged.
He was dishonorably discouraged. I like that as well.
That's what I'm going to do for my clients now. I'm going to dishonorably discourage them from doing things.
I'm going to do that with my clients, my future clients too. Dishonorably discourage them from doing negative things.
Oh god. Oh god, no. One of the comments, poop cloth. It's a complete set with a poop knife. What the fuck? What is all this poop thing? What the fuck? Another one had a little story. My foster mom made a similar argument when I was young. She noticed her bio kids and I, would take showers, but there would never be extra washcloths in the shower, just her face cloth and the body cloth. One day she gathered the four of us and explained she didn't even use the body cloth on her face. So us using her cloths were essentially us washing ourselves with her ass. She took us to get loofahs in a variety of colors, so we all had our own. LOL. Oh my god.
Did you see the one about the child?
Oh, the baby?
Yeah.
You want to read that one?
That one says, so I have a baby and he tends to pee when I bathe him, so I use a washcloth to cover his penis so it doesn't spray on me. Again. I also have a fourth grader. So anyways, the washcloths are color-coded. Blue for the baby and gray for the older one. I asked my older son for a washcloth to cover him, and my son stopped in his tracks and said, wait, is this a penis towel? I laughed and said, yeah, I guess so. He looked white and said, but I use those to wash my face. He learned a lesson in listening and paying attention when mom and dad are talking.
Oh.
Oh, that's amazing.
Oh my god, these comments are just.
I had a roommate whose boyfriend would use my shit, including my razor, so he basically shaved his face with my vagina razor.
Oh no. Oh my god. Someone said I had a jackass roommate years ago that made my life hell. Right before I moved out, I used his toothbrush to clean his dog's teeth. No regret. And someone like replied to that and said, I scrubbed the toilet with my ex's toothbrush after taking a piss and not flushing. It was the least I could do.
All these people, man.
Oh god.
Oh no. This one. I worked in an office where
I was just reading that.
stealing a coworker's makeup remover sheets, which comes in these plastic packet envelopes that are single pull like a box of tissues. They are very expensive. Some of them can be, yes. So the victim decided to put some raw capsaicin in the top sheet and see who noticed. Right away, the person whom we suspected, who also had been stealing other people's lunches, had a red face, her eyes were tearing up, and she claimed to have an allergic reaction to something that went home early. It happened a second time, then a third.
Oh
The thief
no.
kept blaming it on new fluorescent lighting we had in the office for some reason, saying the flickering, which we couldn't detect, was burning her eyes and face with the chemicals falling from them. I don't know if she ever figured it out, but she was fired a few weeks later.
Oh my god. So, yeah, I didn't know what capsaicin is, but that's like an active component of chili peppers.
It is.
Yeah, I had to look that up.
Yeah,
Oh
it's
my god, so it's like basically rubbing like chili pepper, like the stuff that makes the chili peppers heat and stuff on her
yeah.
face
Yep.
like to irritate that.
Yep, basically. All right, let's read the last one. So, I am going to read this one though,
Mm-hmm.
and it's called Yes, I Would Like a Receipt.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, I go to the local Salvation Army thrift store frequently to donate stuff. I just drop things off at the counter and never bother asking for the donation receipt they offer. This subreddit is my favorite, and recently I found myself thinking about petty revenges. Yesterday I scored with a revenge that is barely petty enough to qualify. There was a table as you entered the thrift shop with paperback books on it, and the sign said special 5 books for $1. I rummaged through it, but could only find 4 books that interested me. I took them up to the checkout desk, fully intending to pay $1 for only 4 books, even if she rung it up as 80 cents. Well, she told me it would be $4. I pointed to the sign that said 5 for $1, and she informed me, in a voice that a high school librarian would have been proud of, that they were $1 each, but you had to buy 5 to get the special price. So I
Love.
simply, great voice, yes. So I simply walked to the table and selected a book at random to add to the 4 already on the counter. I was holding a dollar bill, but she informed me, I'm now positive she was a retired high school librarian, that it would be $1.06 because of the state tax. There was a penny jar next to her, but she didn't offer to pull 6 cents out for me. Cue first revenge. I probably had 6 cents in my pocket or another dollar bill, but I didn't even check. I took out a $20 bill. I took a $20 bill out of my wallet and handed it to her. She asked me, escalating to a world-class high school librarian voice, if I had anything smaller. No, ma'am. She gave me $18.94 back in change and turned away from me, not even offering to put my purchase in one of the paper bags that were stacked behind her. Cue very petty revenge. I immediately placed the extra book on the counter and told her I was donating it. And then I asked for a donation receipt. She had no choice but to completely fill out the receipt for my donation and sign it. She valued the donation at 20 cents, and I didn't bother to point out the thrift shop values the books at $1. And after she gave me the receipt, I asked her very nicely if I could have one of the paper bags to carry my books out. She gave me a withering look, so I told her, have a nice day, and walked out with 4 paperbacks.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Eli is talking about it.
Yeah, he's very excited.
He's got opinions. I know, Eli. What opinions you have.
I know.
No way. You don't say. 20 cents.
Wow.
$1. I know.
That's crazy.
They pay state taxes, yeah. Humans pay taxes. Dogs don't. No, you're good. He's okay with that. Yeah.
Okay. One of the comments, what did your high school librarian do to you? Then they put, he, but seriously, sorry, that's incorrect. But seriously, I've never heard this if it's a trope. Are high school librarians known as persnickety high voice types? I'm genuinely curious. Mine were absolute homies with average pitch voices.
Absolute homies.
Absolute homies.
Oh, one of the comments is like, oof, this was difficult to read. And I felt that, yeah. That story, it was like pulling teeth, right? To get that revenge.
Yeah.
It was like, get the book, and like the woman's just like,
She's like,
It's just so much. Oh my god, that woman was just like, wouldn't let you have that deal, and then like didn't even. Oh god, it's just so awkward.
Mm-hmm.
It was such an awkward interaction.
It's a very awkward interaction. And what was that
Interaction.
What was the way I said that
Or
word?
an awkward interaction. Interactions.
Interaction.
It only could have been worse if she got an interaction.
Oh!
During the interaction.
She got an interaction from the interaction.
Because she likes La Racha.
She likes La Racha. I think that deserves a what in the Charles Darwin?
We don't want to overdo it.
Yeah. True. True. Did you find another one to
I'm looking
it out? Okay.
Okay, this could be interesting.
Okay.
I'm intrigued. I have not pre-read this. It could be awful.
Okay.
But I'm intrigued.
Okay.
It's called So You Want to Snoop in Your Daughter's Texts.
Ooh.
Right? It's a 5 years ago one. It has 35,000 upvotes.
Ooh.
But I want to say this is not lead researcher Lexie approved.
I'm sure she would approve it.
I found it right then.
Mm-hmm.
So could be great, could be horrible. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
But 35,000 people think it was a banger. So
okay,
let's see. So I'm married to a wonderful woman. She's smart, funny, and very kind. Her mother is generally very nice and tends to have a great attitude and be very enjoyable. A bit of a prude, but generally enjoyable. However, can be a bit of a major snoop. I just love how that sentence is like, Her mother is generally very nice, tends to have a great attitude. A bit of a prude.
Bit of a prude.
Just like throws that in there, right? Like it's just going normally like, oh yeah, I'm just, like my wife is wonderful and and all this. Her mother is generally very nice and everything is great. And then a bit of a prude.
Bit of a prude, but
I just was not expecting it. Okay. So, however, mother can be a bit of a major snoop. A bit of a major snoop?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That seems like not around. You can't be a bit and a major snoop.
Yeah, a bit of a major.
Yeah.
If my wife leaves her phone sitting around, she will just pick it up and start going through it.
Because we love that.
My wife has kind of laughed this off as a remnant of her mom being controlling when she was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a fan of this because my wife and I will sometimes text about thing that simply that simply don't involve her mother. And I don't feel our he business at all.
Our
bad. So sometimes they'll text about thing, and he doesn't feel that it's he business at all.
Doesn't feel like it's
yeah, because they text about thing. Is it like Thing from Addams Family, like that hand?
Yeah, they text about thing.
They text about it and how like hot it makes them.
They text about that dramatic. Have you watched Wednesday? Because I don't want to say anything. And
I have watched Wednesday.
Okay,
I have loved that show.
Okay, spoiler alert. It's like they talk about that scene where he almost died.
Yes.
And they're like, I can't believe Thing almost died. And the mother-in-law's like, who almost died? Oh, I'm clutching my pearls.
How dare you spoil the show? I haven't caught up. I'm only on episode 2.
Oh, I only watched the first
mother's like, right? It's like, how dare you spoil it for me? And it's like, you wouldn't have been spoiled if you didn't go through my phone.
Yeah. So, me.
Like, stay out of my phone.
Stay on my phone, bitch.
Yeah. So, poster says, so over Christmas, my wife... I'm not reading right, but also he didn't type right. So what it says is, so over Christmas, I saw my wife.
Okay.
That's legit what it said. Okay. You didn't have a reaction to that. I'm going to read it again. You can take that reaction from the top, Rachel. So over Christmas, I saw my wife. Set her phone down. Thank you. I appreciate your enthusiasm, your cooperation, your, interaction on this podcast right now. I won't have to recast you for season 3.
Okay. Well, I won't have to recast you, I guess.
Yeah, like if I have to downgrade you to a non-speaking part for season 3, that could be really awkward.
I would pay to listen to that. Just you having conversations with yourself.
I constantly joke about like the watching shows like The Bachelor, and there's like contestants on there that you see for like half a second in an episode, and they're all of a sudden there, and it's like episode 7. They're like, oh, this is Christina, and Christina's having a date with The Bachelor, and you're like, where the fuck did Christina come from? And like my mom is really into The Bachelor, so we'll talk about it, and I'll be like, oh yeah, Christina didn't have a speaking part until episode 7. I'm like, no, they recast Christina, Yeah, no one would notice.
No, not at all. Okay, continue.
Okay, so over Christmas, I saw my wife set her phone down on the kitchen counter, and I had a brilliant idea. Her mom was still in the kitchen, and I sent my wife the most... Oh, Jesus. Okay, her mom was still in the kitchen, and I sent my wife the most sexually depraved text about all the things I was going to do to her when everyone left.
Oh.
Honestly, most of them are things we haven't even done, but I had to make it extra scarring.
Yes.
I sent this text from the bathroom, and maybe it was my imagination, but I could swear I could hear an audible gasp, spelt with an H, so it's gasp.
Gasp. She had to inhale before she was like, gasp. Yeah.
Shortly after her phone went off. When I went out, her mother absolutely would not look me in the eye. Then, not so discreetly, asked her daughter to come talk to her in the other room. When my wife came back into the living room, I thought she had been crying. However, upon closer inspection, she was laughing. Her mother had questioned her about me sexually abusing her. And if I had always talked down to her like that. Oh my god. My wife had told her kindly that what we do is between us and us only. Probably the best gift this Christmas. And because of how sexually depraved that is, he spelled Christmas with a lowercase c.
He did not.
I'm
clutching my rosary.
Clutch those rosaries. Clutch those pearls.
I clutch my rosary, which is on my pearls. My pearl necklace. Ayo. That's what you get for snooping.
The comments. I love that she didn't deny those things. Just told her mother it was none of her business what you two did, thus preserving the mental scarring. It's like, or maybe she wanted to try all these things. You never know until you ask. And that will either end in bliss, or divorce, or a trip to the emergency room. Doctor, we've got another couple in the ER with a rudder tied to his balls and a potato in the wife ass. Prep the OR.
So speaking of things going in the ass, there's a paramedic on TikTok, and he stitches videos where people will show a product, and it's something that if you're that type of person, you would look at and be like, I wonder if I can fit that in my ass.
Jesus.
And he'll stitch the videos, and he just looks at you, sighs, shakes his head, and goes, no.
You gotta send me this. I've never seen it.
I'll send you the next one I see. He did one the other day. It was one where it was like this water bottle that you can have on the side of your bed so you don't have to like sit up to drink. It just had a really long straw.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't realize he had even stitched it. I was watching. I was like, oh, that's cool. And then he showed up on my screen and he just did the finger wave, like come closer to the screen, sighed, shook his head and went, no. And I was like, I didn't even think about that. I was thinking how convenient that is because I could put that next to my bed and not have to sit up to have a drink.
But were you?
I was.
But were you?
I was. It could be nice. I could pour a full bottle of wine in there. It'd be great.
But were you?
I was. I'm not going to say it on the podcast. I don't need to look at objects like that and think, okay?
Okay.
I'm not that sexually deprived.
Deprived or depraved?
Both.
Ayo. What were all the stories?
Oh man. That last one was good.
Mm-hmm.
That was good. Don't snoop. This is a lesson to anybody. This is what I call, if you fuck around, you're gonna find out.
Yeah. The last time my dad snooped on any of my devices, he found that old video from Jenna Marbles, the Bounce My Dick. Mid-playing. It was like in high school. I had that like playing on my laptop.
Mm-hmm.
And like I had it like mid playing and I like paused it and went to the bathroom. And when I came back, it was open, but like it wasn't playing. But like my laptop had opened. It wasn't it was shut when I had left, right? And that was before I had made a lock for every time you shut your laptop or every time the screen went dark and anything like that.
Yeah.
So I didn't know I had to do that in my own home, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like I didn't my laptop wasn't something I was doing anything on that I needed to lock away at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know that he'd seen that or anything like at the time. Like I didn't expect that. Didn't even think anything of it until my mom mentioned it like the next day. And I was like, I died laughing. I was like, that was a comedy video and serves him fucking right.
Really,
to be scarred for life over that. Like, I'm so glad it was that Jenna Marbles video. Because I'm pretty sure he'll never snoop ever again.
Yeah. Yeah.
But everything else has always been locked for the rest of my life. I have, like, codes on codes on codes.
She got codes on codes. She's like, yo, dog, I see you got some codes. I got some codes to put on your codes.
Like, I got a password on my cat.
Which cat?
I'm talking about, I know, I heard how it sounded. I know.
Ayo?
I made it like Spinelli, okay? I was trying to make a joke like that. I have too much migraine for right now, okay?
We're gonna wrap it up then because you got too much migraine.
Take us out of here.
So, listeners, again,
Where's the exit?
As per the last episode we did with Petty Revenge, if you have your own stories of petty revenge that you want to tell us, you can message us on Facebook. We are Inconsistently Consistent on Facebook. Don't ask me what this accent is. I'm going with it. You can message us on Instagram. We're Inconsistent Podcast 1 on Instagram. Or, again, if typing it just brings you so much joy and you want to stabby type, you can email us, inconsistentpodcast1@gmail.com.
You could give us a message or a letter like some of them folks would write on the paper with the pen and the paper. But you might want to put it on the digital folk, like on the digital web. And you can send it on the interwebs to us with those methods that Miss Rachel just don't tell you.
You can also message me on my personal Instagram and TikTok if you so desire. They are both _RachelVR_.
You could also message me on my personal Instagram. It's at Melanie with an extra E427. I also have, like my author page, my Facebook open there. I never really mentioned that one, but you can get to that. But it's probably easier just to get to that through my website, MelanieFlynnBooks.com. That's where my book is available for purchase, The Toy Maker. It's about a scary, scary thing, because, like a serial killer that kills the people, turns them into toys.
I'm clutching my pearls in terror.
Turns those people, horrible things that he does, or she does, to turn the people. Oh no!
Turn the people!
He turns the people! Oh, he turns the people.
What in the Charles Darwin is happening?